Athletes are all around the Georgia Tech campus. Georgia Tech has 43 club sports and 20 intramural sports. Between all of these clubs and sports, there are over 1,000 student athletes at Georgia Tech. We have observed that student athletes at Georgia Tech are viewed differently than other students. We notice when a student athlete asks a question in class that another student thinks is an easy question, they will roll their eyes or even look back to see who is asking the question with a face like, why are they even asking that question? We have also noticed that when a student athlete asks another student how to do something the teacher has already instructed them to do, the other student sometimes looks at them and talks to them in a tone of voice that is rude or sarcastic because they understand how to do it and the athlete does not. Also, students look at athletes on what they wear to class every day. Many students have on fraternity and sorority shirts, while many of the athletes are wearing athletic clothes such as sweatpants and sweatshirts that were given to them by their sport. Most students take second looks and mostly look the athlete up and down as if they are wondering why that person is even wearing that to class or why they walk around campus dressed like they are.
A lot of classrooms at Georgia Tech have student athletes. We have observed that when an athlete gets up and walks out of class before it has been dismissed, they get mean looks from the other students, and sometimes other students even look at their watches to see how early the athlete is leaving. But if one of their friends gets up and leaves early, they don't even look twice and they may even say bye to them. Also, if athletes do not show up to class or walk in late, people will just assume that we're being lazy and don't care about academics, but most of the time this is not the case. They may be coming from workouts and got let out late, which happens pretty often to them. This is a form of prejudice which would not happen if they did not know we were student athletes. We have noticed that student athletes are often judged for leaving class early, and it makes many of the student athletes feel as if they are not a part of the campus and outcasts and that they do not belong. We interviewed a fourth year student here at Georgia Tech about what he thought of student athletes, and some of his thoughts are if they are here to learn, it's great, and also that no student athletes get any special treatment by any professors. And then also, we interviewed a female student here at Georgia Tech, and this is what she had to say about student athletes.
No, I don't think that athletes deserve to be at Georgia Tech. I think that they really take the school for granted, and they didn't work hard enough to get into the school. They don't really know what it takes, and I think they struggle a lot in classes, and they just don't want to be here once they get here because they think it's just too hard, and everybody else here is so smart. And I think sometimes they just get special treatment from professors, and that's really unfair to everybody else who has to work their butt off to get their teacher to even know who they are.
We feel like we do not belong because we are always being judged by other students at Georgia Tech, whether it be for leaving class early or even for what we wear, which is always shorts and a t-shirt. Also, we do not have any time in our weekly schedules to be able to join any clubs at Georgia Tech because each day we have school up until 1 and practice from 2 to 6, and then we have our tutors after that from 7 to 8. And between all of this time, we have to fit in group projects, schoolwork, and also trying to have a social life. Many of the athletes feel as if we are left out from being a part of the school because we are not able to join the school events and clubs. We can't even join fraternities or sororities because of our busy time schedule, and they are a big part of the college life and a part of the Georgia Tech campus because when you drive around the Georgia Tech campus, you can look left and right and see multiple frat and sorority houses. Then most people think about college. They think about joining a frat or sorority and having their brothers and sisters to be their friends for the rest of their life. As athletes, we can't say this because our schedules are too busy. We hardly have time to do our sport and school, let alone try to join an extra activity.
Student athletes can break this bias by breaking out of their shells and their cliques in order to meet new people throughout their school day. Many are not taking the time in order to meet non-athletes and to get to know them and what they have to do on a day-to-day basis and how their experience at Georgia Tech is going. Just getting to know someone and talk to them can change the way they think about you. One positive interaction with one person can change their view on an entire group of people. Many times, athletes only stay with other athletes and don't try to get to know other students, and it makes other students feel as if the athletes think that they are better than them, which is not the case. Simply by talking to someone and conversating with them here at Georgia Tech can make a huge difference in making us feel as if we are a part of campus. Student athletes feel like they are not a part of campus because of lack of communication to other students. Even when an athlete tries to talk to another student, it is mostly quick and short because the athlete does not know what else to talk about other than the question that they had intended to ask. We can also stay in class and not leave unless it is for a good reason so people don't have the ability to make accusations toward us for leaving class early. Overall, if student athletes take a little bit more time out of their day to go out of their comfort zone and talk to new people, it can change the perspective students have to athletes as a whole.